Oh, okay.
Hey guys, we're live now.
You didn't give us a heads up.
Hey,
All right.
we're recording. We're live.
All right, guys, we are recording. It is the second Monday of the new year already. It's crazy how fast it's just flying by, and conference is going to be here before we know it. But I'm super excited because everybody always asks what's working constantly for me. Well, even out in the field. And so that's why I pulled a couple amazing girls on, Amanda and Jocelyn. I actually talked with Jocelyn on the phone today and said, oh, you should just ask me some questions because it just brings up things that I should be like saying. And so I thought, okay, we're going to give you what's working now. So when we titled it that, I didn't want to be like work your business, but it really comes down to the work ethic and making a decision. And so it's not magic. It's just deciding which avenues you want to work. And so we're going to start talking a little bit about that. We're going to really just jump in. Let them give you their story a little bit, but some of you may be on and don't know who I am. So I'm Stephanie Dunn, been in for 10 years, joined this business because of the wrap that tightens and tones. So I'm seeing some pictures like that to go out. Didn't want to do network marketing, but we were, going from standing in food lines, struggling to pay bills, had more month than money at the end. And so I thought, why not? If somebody could just show me what to do, I'll do it. And that's what we're going to do tonight. Is I love that somebody can come in and go, I want to work. I can do this. Just tell me what to do. And so that was me. I didn't need a bunch of like, ooh, rah, rah, or anything. I was just hungry and wanted it. And so we hear Mark and Cam even said it last night that outworking can trump talent any day of the week. And so that is me. If you were like, who are you? My work ethic, I just get down to it. So I'll bring on Amanda. Actually, I'm going to do mine first because it's just the way that we have it text. So what it is, I'm going to have Joel pull this up. That's why we have it on is last week. And if you haven't, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Instagram. I'm open and public on everything. And I do that just to help the field. There's plenty of fish in the sea, guys. So I've always, from day one, been open on everything, just because we're going to connect with different people. And I think it's just always going to come back to you. So a lot of the things that I'm doing is stories and samples. And so what I did this past week is, actually I'm drinking it right now. You'd think I'd be posting about weight loss products all the time, which is good. But we need to throw in other things because people are constantly looking and they don't realize we have other product. And so I threw up collagen sample posts. I'm actually going to show you the picture. I know we can't pull it up, but I wanted you to see the picture that I used to get people to do samples and just to get interaction with people. And I'll tell you why I did that. Hold on, let me find the picture. 2 seconds. You'd think I'd be a little bit more like, where is it? Okay, so actually this is the conversation. We'll see if it pulls up. I don't know if you guys can see that very well. All it is a clear plastic cup with collagen. And can you guys see that or no? Oops, yeah. It went away. Hold on. I'll take a picture. Save. And you guys can create whatever you want and make one yourself, or you can always use this too. Go to it. Pop up picture. Where'd it go? There it is. Okay. Now it won't go away. So it's just a picture of the collagen. So I did that. I did a series of different benefits of the collagen with go on your before and afters and put it through. So what I did was just before that, put a few before and afters of collagen. Then towards the end, I always do like a poll to get interaction. So I wanted sample me. It doesn't say anything about buying. The idea is to get people to really interact with you and see and give you, it's going to create a hundreds list for you. So what it did, that's what worked for me. And then I did another video right after, me doing a hands-free video on Instagram, just showing me mixing up the collagen, the benefits of it, why I love it. And it created a ton of conversation for me. And yes, I message people, and some of you are probably following me, and so I may have messaged you, but this is the message that I actually sent. So Joel, are you ready to put that up? He's going to put it up, and I'll just kind of let you know, walk you through the whole process of what happened. So this is somebody that clicked on the poll, and where is that? Oh, that's a Jocelyn. Sorry, I was on Jocelyn's. I'm like, where's my notes? And right there. Okay. Joel's trying to help me. You guys are dying. I know. All right. So she clicked on the poll, and the next thing I said was, and this is like word for word, guys. So you're going to think, oh my gosh, it's so simple. I said, were you interested in the collagen? So I asked a question to get them to respond back. And sometimes people click on their poll and they don't even realize it. It's just asking. It's not like, hey, buy my product or anything. Just, were you interested in the collagen? And sometimes I've gone through the polls and go, hey, did you need to click on my poll? And that just opens the door. If they didn't, they may say, oh no, I'm sorry. But that just opens the door for more conversation for me to be like, well, maybe it's a sign. Maybe you should try this product. Or, you know, if it's a business post, have you ever thought about making money from home? But from there, I said, were you interested in the collagen? The potential said, hi there, yes. Then me, okay, awesome. You're gonna love them so much. You have a few options for sample packs. You can get one for free if you do a post on Facebook or Instagram story for me. So that's the host to post. So I'm doing the host to post. Or they can get 3 for $10 or 15 for $39. The 15 for $39 is the loyal customer price, right? So again, I've given them a few different options. Which sounds best to you? Then the potential, can I do 3 for 10? And I go, me, of course. Would you like to pay by card or PayPal? Potential, I have PayPal. Me, okay, great. Can you send it, whatever, to my PayPal? I probably don't need to put it on there. Potential, I just sent it. Let me know what you need from me. I go, perfect. What's your address? Potential sends address and decides she wants info on more of the products. Through my stories, guys, I had a couple other products throughout the story that they're going to watch through. So don't be afraid to keep continuing on with your stories with, you know, some other products, because she got interested in some. So she goes, also, so when she said, so I said, what is your address? Potential sends address and decides she wants more info of the product. I go, what's your cell? I'd love to text you. Generally, I'll get a text right away, but I got the text. And then this is where I seal the deal with distributors. So we're talking about how can I flip that customer that sent me her information for one sample of collagen to a distributor. Also, I do have a question. This is what I said to her. Knowing you want the product, have you ever thought about making money while you use the product? Sorry, guys, I don't have my glasses on. And she said, I have. Can I chit chat with you? I can chit chat with you today. I'm in Hawaii and I'm not sure where you're located considering time difference. I have a meeting to work, but would love to talk afterwards. Me, okay, I'll text you. My favorite place, Hawaii. So, you know, if there's something in the conversation that you can do to connect with that person, do that a little bit. So then she says, yes, very strong type of wood. Or I said something about my dog, his name, it's a strong type of wood. And then I sent her a text. You have my number to text when you're free. So she had my number. As soon as she was out, let me know that she was available to call her. So when I talked to her, this is where I don't have scripts, okay? I love to get people on the phone. And the reason why is you can hear the excitement from them. You can be like, this is the best time of the year. And you guys know that. This is absolutely the best time of the year. We're coming into conference. What can we do? So from collagen to, okay, yes, I want to try the other products. And I'm like, great, you know what? In your kit, you're going to get almost $200 of product anyway. You're going to get the keto coffee. You're going to get the collagen. You're going to get the keto energy sticks, the greens on the go. You're going to get like the wrap. You're going to get like 5 products that you can sample and use for yourself. And I said, how does that sound? And I'm like, worst case scenario, you know, really, there's no commitment, but my goal is to help teach you and how to make money while you're using those products. And so there's a couple key things that people want to know. They don't want to freak out and be like, oh my gosh, I'm locked in for life, right? Like I didn't want that. And so as I'm talking to her, I'm thinking about the things that would have scared me off when I first joined. So think about that. What are some key things that you're just like, I want to get them in and get them started and worry about the details once they're in?
And guys, one thing I wanted to point out is everything that I posted in the chat, that is not a script. That is Stephanie's actual conversation in text back and forth. None of that was scripted. That was just her having a conversation. So we know that you guys love scripts, but scripts should be for training your brain how to think for itself in having a real conversation. You know, when we're doing things out in the real world, you can tell the difference between when you're getting a bot reaction and an actual person talking to you. So what we don't want you to do is just take all of this information and copy and post it and use it again, because people are going to go, well, I don't have a Hawaii address. I'm not.
Well, yeah, they get that.
I don't have a Koa dog. You know, those are the, I mean, we try and make
oh my gosh, if that's going around, we're in trouble. But.
Yep, as easy as it is for you to see how a conversation takes place, and how sometimes you may have to pivot and turn based on the conversation.
And really, guys, it's getting those samples out. And how cool is that? That I actually got cash from her, and then she became a distributor. Now, there's times where I don't even, let them say okay to the cash. It was so slammed on my messenger from all of the samples that people wanted. And so I was going through them, and it was a little scripty. So I did do, one sample for free to do the host to post, or getting that cash for the 3 for 15, or becoming a customer. And that's what you want. You want to have as many conversations as you can. So how many different products could we actually sample and get people to do host to post, right? I mean, you've got the greens, you've got the keto coffee, you've got the collagen, you've got the energy stick. That was another one that I followed through. I don't know, I think it was either before or after collagen last week. And the same thing, letting them know that they can get one for free. And we know they're going to get some results with one on the energy stick. They'll probably feel something. The collagen, I love if they get 3, they should see something too. 1, I let them know they may not see the full benefit, and this is why they should order more. But make sure that if you are doing the samples, that you follow it up, showing that you're using it, showing other potentials, or other pictures of before and after pictures. And we're starting to get a lot more. And get your own, guys, create your own. But those samples are going to help you. Not only that, they may not respond. They may say, no. But if it's one for free, they're probably going to do something for you. They're going to get you a post. They're going to get it out for you. And why not do a sample post on your host to post, that they're going to do? That just opens up even more doors. I know that we always say we're looking for, somebody that may want to lose weight, somebody that's looking to make $300 to $500 maybe for a host to post. But have you ever done one with samples? And so I hope that really helps you guys get out there and sign a lot more. But that's what's been working for me now. So things constantly change in this business, in this industry all the time. And so I don't want to say, oh, I'm not doing the other things. That's what worked for me last week. And you guys, I did 8 distributors, right? 8 distributors. And I think I was like 2 customers a day. And that's a lot for me, a lot. So knowing those samples worked. And that's what I wanted to bring to you guys today. It was super simple. And I know that you're going to love Amanda's and Jocelyn's too. Joel's like, I can feel him. Yeah. He's like, gotta say something, guys. I'm like, what?
Just going back to her original conversation and how she did that, the first thing that she's doing with the host to post is pretty much offering an influencer program. See, the thing that happens out there, and Steph really wanted me to clarify this because I kind of touched on it last week, is that what companies are doing to get people to become trial influencers is they're messaging people and going, hey, would you mind sharing a post for either a discounted price or a small free product? And that's all we're doing is going, hey, if you share this to your page, I'll send you out a free sample. I'll also allow you to get a discounted price on a certain amount. So we're doing what large companies are actually doing for influencer marketing now. So you can actually say on a post, looking for influencers, and then just follow that up with some sort of host to post, whether it's collagen, whether it's greens, whether it's coffee. That is how you're going to get people into the influencer category.
So get your samples, guys. If you don't have product on hand, you are missing so much opportunity because people are looking, and you don't need a huge network. You can just start asking people, like he said. I get inboxes all the time from companies that want me to be an influencer for their product. And so we just continue to watch, like, why can't we do that? So how bad do you want this year? And that's the things that I'm doing, is I'm being focused on what's working and doing more of that. So hopefully that gives you guys, just one more way to go. Okay, I'm going to try that this week and switch up different things. Hopefully you guys, can people comment or no? Did you block it?
I blocked it so that
If that helps you guys, will you let me know in the comments? Like, just give me a yes, it helped. I'm excited. Maybe he can't. Oh, he can't. You can't post yet. Hold on. Jumping the gun. And then I'll go to Amanda. Actually, we'll go to Amanda next.
Okay, everyone can comment now.
Okay, yes, I need to know. I'm like, it's nobody saying anything. Is anybody getting anything from this? Because I love to help you guys. That's our goal, is to rise up more leaders than ever before and just have you guys have an incredible year. So thank you. That encourages me that yes, this is one of the shirts. All right, I'm going to bring on Amanda real quick, guys. Amanda, can you unmute yourself?
Yep, I'm unmuted. Hey guys.
Hi. All right, I'm gonna turn mine up so I can hear you a little bit more. Oh, was I clicking the wrong one? Okay. I feel like I need a hearing aid. My daughter says that all the time. She's like, Mom, and I'm like, I think it was all those concerts I went to when I was her age, but still don't do that. But Amanda, I just love you because we went to Costa Rica, guys. So if you don't know, I'm gonna let her introduce you. But she's always been like super positive, willing to get in the trenches and do the work. And she's head down, not looking sideways, and just willing to share and to get to work. And so that's what I just love about Amanda. And she gave some awesome scripts. And again, guys, we're going to share what we can. A lot of it is through voicemail, through voice memo, through conversations on phone. So we want to give you as much as we can, but don't forget to be yourself. I think that's one of the best things that we have. And fumble through it if you're new. That's how I learned. I was a mess, but I continued to try and learn. So Amanda, can you come on and just let everybody know who you are and give us just a quick story of like your 60-second story?
Yeah, perfect. Well, thanks for having me. I'm so excited. So I'm Amanda, you guys, and we just celebrated our 6-year anniversary not too long ago. And a little bit before I started is I worked full-time as a dental hygienist. So I definitely know what it's like to work full-time and have kiddos and start to learn how to build a business. I've never done anything like this before, no experience. I started off with like 200 friends on social media, and my friends signed me up. And so we were just kind of like, the blind leading the blind. And so really, I always say my upline was literally Steph and Joel and YouTube. And so those were my uplines, and I was just learning and trial and error. And so I always say, like, I love that Steph said that, you don't have to have certain, talents or anything like this. This is a learned business. You can learn everything. And really what it is your habits that you're doing every single day that's really going to create those results. And so I started and I got to diamond in 3 months. I went double in 5 months after being in the business, and then triple, presidential, and ambassador. And so my husband's the presidential of our ambassador. And so, it's just been so incredible, just an incredible journey. And I say the biggest thing is just like, always be a student, always learning. Just right before I got on here, I was, listening to an Audible just before I got on. And so I'm excited just to share some tips with you guys.
Yay. Woo-hoo. All right. So I know you're a consistent recruiter, always working the business. I mean, I think you can go through and go look at your page and just see, you're passionate about it. You're excited about it. And that says a lot too, guys. Like, do you just have a fun page? Or are you inviting people in? So Amanda shared, I think you can just go ahead. We'll post a little bit of what you did. And I know you couldn't share everything either, but this was a distributor that you just signed, right?
Yeah, and I think she's on here right now. So
that's awesome. So we're using it. We won't call her out.
She's like,
yet,
that's creepy.
But, no, it's what happens in this, right? And I think mine probably could be on. Well, I'm not sure. She may be at work because if it's Hawaii, but share a little bit of how did that whole conversation go? How did it even become a distributor for you?
Yeah, so we met through social media from a host to post. So she was a host to post from a cleanse that I did back in 2018. It was August 2018. And she was interested in the cleanse. Never did anything with the cleanse, but I was looking back through our conversation, and I was messaging her every single month. And even though she wasn't interested in she wanted the cleanse but never got it, I was asking her to host a post for me. And so she ended up posting a post for me several times. And it was the coffee post. That's like my number one host to post I go to. And because I love it, because you can offer samples like Steph was saying, but then a customer or even it being a distributor. And so finally she asked me, what is that coffee? And so I gave her information about the coffee, and she ended up becoming a customer of mine. And so just like Stephanie said, anytime like I have a customer or anybody who hosts a post for me, I will always ask them, hey, are you interested in making some extra money? Hey, are you, you just commented on my post. Would you like some more information? And I think that that's what happened with this particular distributor, is that she commented on either a poll or a post. And so I messaged her and I said, hey, thanks so much for commenting on this post. I think it's in there. Would you like more information on the business? And so she did. And I sent her my script, and that's what I typically send, is just my script. I do a lot of voice messaging. So I get on the voice, microphone on Facebook, and I voice a lot. I do have 2 scripts, what we do, because that just never changes. What we do is what we do. And then also the pricing of the business, and that just never changes, except if we have a promotion. And so she was interested. Again, nothing really happened to it. She was interested in November. Just kept watching, my post and using the products because she was a customer. And I would just follow up with her all the time, you guys. She would see my stuff. I would invite her to opportunity events that we were doing, just constantly following up since 2018. And so finally she just said, hey, enough is enough. I see all your posts. And so she actually even said this, I either need to delete you or I need to join you. And so I said, well, I really don't want you to delete me. So how about you join me? And so we talked a little bit more, and she joined yesterday. So and I think she's on right now. So, I think it's just keeping it very simple. And I think that the biggest thing is, just like Steph said, is that, voicing them and saying, hey, if they're concerned about something, instead of just giving them like a script, voice them and say, you know what, I had that same concern, and this is, how I got over that, or this is, and I give her my answer to it. But voice them a lot, because then they get to know you. They hear how sincere you are. They can feel your energy. And then the other thing is, I don't let go of follow-ups. Like, I am like the follow-up Nazi. I will write their name down, and I just make sure that they don't get out of, that my name is always, in their mind, that they're always seeing my post, and that I'm always reaching out to follow up with them, so that they understand that, I want you to, get on this product, or I want you to join my team so I can help you make extra money. And so that they know that, I do care about them. I am following up with them. And it's not just, oh, hey, it's been a few months. Like, remember me? Are you still interested in doing this? But no, I'm constantly saying, hey, we have a promotion going on. Do you want to do this? And so I think that was, the following up, and then just also, asking, hey, is this something that you're interested in doing? I know that you're loving the products. You're having awesome results with the skinny coffee. Would you like to make some extra money also?
Cal, I mean, there's no secrets, guys. I think this is it. It's making a decision to do some of these things, to be consistent, and to follow up. And Amanda said, this was from back in 2018. Newbies coming on, don't get discouraged in your first month. I think that's where a lot of people, they feel defeat before they even get started, not knowing that we all had to build up, the leaders, had to build up, well, anybody really builds up their list month after month after month, and it compounds. So, the more that you jump in and start to just be excited and reach out to people, and you're doing these samples, you're getting samples in your kit. You don't have any excuse that you can't do this, guys. You can actually use those samples and do the same thing, the collagen, the greens, the keto energy, and start creating that list. And I would absolutely do that before conference. You should be doing as many of these as possible, because this is going to create your list to follow up with when they announce things at conference. So if you can't seal it now, we're going to do a after conference Monday Zoom, and we're going to talk about how you can go back to all of these people and follow up with the amazing promotions that they bring out. So make sure you're doing that, because I know there's people that are brand new thinking, oh my gosh, but Amanda's been, following up with the person for months. Do you have something to say? Joel's like,
No,
this, you guys, like, what?
I was just looking at you, but
Okay. Well,
the funny thing that I just learned is you guys just realized that Ambassador Diamond Amanda takes 2 years to sign a distributor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's playing the long game. Are you in for the long game? I mean, she sat there and planted a seed 2 years ago that didn't actually bloom into anything until just this week.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have to get that mindset in.
Yeah, the power of consistency, throwing up different polls, just throwing up different things. And it's not always It Works products, but that opens the door. So if you are doing other polls, is that something that you can click on that person and go, is this somebody I would want in my business? Like, don't be afraid to reach out and go, I stalked your page and I think you'd be a great fit for what I do. Have you ever thought about making extra money? And that is what I would say, guys. That is exactly what Stephanie would say. I look at people's profile. Does anybody else do that? Like, raise your hand, because Joel's got the comments off. So we all do. If somebody comments or likes on our picture, right? We're like, who is this person that just gave us 10 hearts? I need to go look at them. So why aren't we doing that? So those are some really good tips that sometimes we just need a reminder. It's such a simple business, but there's work involved in that. And the ones that decide I'm going to do these simple tasks are the ones that are getting customers and distributors, and they're being consistent with it. So that's really, when I say work the business, there's just a few things that we need to do to work our business. And it's getting the stuff out there, not being afraid to ask them. And the samples, you guys, I just took the fear off of everything, because they're going to click on it for you. Okay. So that should help. But Amanda, do you have anything else to add? Like, where you're getting majority of distributors? Is it Instagram, Facebook, your customers, combo, in person?
Yeah, it's a combination of things. I think consistency for sure, but one thing I do, so I get my distributors from, a lot of it is just my posting that I do, but then I ask everyone, you guys. So I message. That's just one of my things I do every single day, is I don't wait for people just to come to me. I do post, and I love attractive marketing, but I also am out there messaging people and asking people every single day. And so what I do is every single day I have like a system. And so, you have your goals, like, okay, my goal is to get 2 customers today. Okay, well, what are those systems that's going to get to those goals, right? Mm-hmm. So one of the systems I do every day is I send out host a post. Well, the next day, everyone who posted for me, I ask them, and I can put my message in here, but I ask them if they're interested in making some extra money. And so I get a lot of distributors from my host a post, or the people who hosted for me. And then the other thing is I ask all of my customers. And then I'm also, like what Steph said, is like in your polls, or in your stories, after you do an opportunity, story, make a poll about it and say, hey, want more information? Yes, please. And so just constantly asking people, that's really where I get my distributors from. And then again, it's just planting those seeds. And so even if I'm asking, somebody the next day if they're interested in the business who just hosted a post for me, they may not, even respond. They may not even be interested, but it just planted that little seed in their head, like, maybe, like, I didn't know, like, and a lot of times I will tell you, like, every single day, I will at least have a few people say, yes, send me some information. And it's just that seed that just was planted. And then it just, over time, sometimes they will sign up right away, but a lot of times it is over time. It's following up with them. It's them seeing that I'm consistent with posting my stories, consistent with, talking about the business, sharing my life. And that's really where it's, like Steph said, it's not anything, it's not like a magic, recipe or, something like that. It really is, like our team calls it, the core 4 and more. Like, that is the fundamentals of getting your customers and distributors every day. But that is one thing I do, is I will ask every single person. And then the other thing is I make sure, instead, like on my list, on my notebook, I have January potential customers, January potential distributors. And if I don't have my limit of, or my amount that I want of potential distributors or potential customers every day, then I know I need to ask more people. I know that I need to message more people or get more post to post out. So that's really my gauge of, how much did I do today, is how many new people are on my list every day.
Mm-hmm. I love that. So newbies, let's create that list. Don't be afraid to get out there and do that. And then for the ones that are like, you know what, this is my year, 2020, I want to do this, be consistent with it. Cause I know sometimes we're like gung ho and all in for like a couple weeks. And then we're like, I'll steam out. But when you be consistent, that's the magic, being consistent, finding that workflow that works for you. I'll probably pull you on one more time. I'm going to try to get this done quick, but Jocelyn, do you want to go ahead and unmute yourself? There you are.
Hi.
Hi, where are you? There you are. I
I'm
thought,
right
Taylor in bed.
No, she
Oh,
wants to say
I
hi
hear
to
her.
them. Say
There
hi.
she is.
Hi, Taylor. Or I just love that, we're moms, we're college age. It doesn't matter, really the background of what it is. But I'll let Jocelyn kind of come in, introduce herself, because she's got a pretty incredible story, and then what's working for her and what I see with her. So I see what she does quite a bit. So Jocelyn, hop on and let everybody know who you are.
Yeah, so my name's Jocelyn, as Stephanie said. I found this business 7 years ago this month, which is crazy. I didn't join until March of 2013, though. It took me a bit. So I came in from an expo trying a sample. The body applicator worked really well for me, and I wanted more of them. So then my enroller, Andrea, was like, hey, if you bring a couple people to the party with you, I'll give you one for free. So I was like, sweet. Kind of the same thing as hosting a post, right? But parties are in person. So ended up doing that between myself, my mom, my sister, my two sisters-in-law. We each bought 1 to 2 wraps a piece from her, made her a bunch of money really quickly. And so after that party, she's like, hey, why don't you make some money off of your family and friends instead of making me all this money? And it just made sense. So I got started in my first month and a half between just selling samples and customers, didn't sign any distributors. Just in that first month and a half, I still made about $800. And then I got complacent and did nothing with my business for months. And so basically what happened to really start changing things, because I went from literally not making anything, not doing anything, was I knew if I show up to go up, that I'll show, if I show up to the things I have to go up, because I always say that. And then I knew also that I can't remember what the other thing I was going to say, but I started showing up, and Stephanie taught me this at this training that I showed up to. She was there. And I remember thinking, like, there's no way like I can sign distributors, like it's too hard for me. But I remember leaving just with the belief that she had in me, like, why don't you just shoot for it and see what happens? Because I think sometimes in this business, we look at this end goal that we have. Maybe it's to promote to Ruby this month, or to fill in our steps to success, or to go diamond, and we just immediately take that option off the table because we think it's too hard. That's what I had done with this business, is took the option to succeed off the table because I thought it was too hard, but I wasn't even trying. And so getting that belief from Stephanie to just shoot for it and see what happens changed everything. I did my steps to success that month. I made $500, and I had this aha moment of like, okay, I just made $500 one time by doing the steps to success once. So what if I just did the steps again? Would I make another 500? So then the next month I did it again and made another $500 plus some. And then the next month I did it a couple times and I made more than $500. And then, so 9 months, took me 9 months to promote to executive, 11 months to Ruby, a year to diamond. And then I went from diamond to presidential the year after that, and then presidential to ambassador the year after that. So, and 4.5 years to make $1 million, which isn't too bad considering that I joined when I was 19. So, but that's like my story in a nutshell. Really cool. I feel like it's been fun because I joined when I was a single college student working full-time, going to school full-time, taking like 20 to 22 credits, to now having to do the whole stay-at-home mom thing and have to work through all of that. So it's been really fun to have all the different aspects. So for me, what works really well is, and you're going to hear this so often, but it's being really disciplined and being consistent. So with my team, I always tell them that there are 6 things on my list every single day that if I do them, I know I will make money. And it's the things you guys always hear. It's posting, adding to your network, messaging, following up, host to post, and personal development. And so I know if you do those 6 things, you're going to get results no matter what. And so just as an example with my last customer, it's kind of fun. In October, I had a girl host a post for me on Instagram, one of the typical who wants to lose 31 pounds in the next 90 days if you could take 2 pills a day, one of those simple posts. And so one of the girls that was interested ended up messaging me, and she's like, hey, I wanted to get some more information. And I'll just tell you, like, I've signed up like 5 or 6 customers so far this month, but when I sign up a customer, they always order a minimum of $100, always. So I've signed up like probably like $700 or $800 in volume in just 2 weeks, you know? And so I always start it by saying, how much weight do you want to lose, and do you drink coffee? Even if they commented on a Thermophyte X post, I always ask them that. And so she immediately told me, I kind of looked at her page and knew she goes to the same church I do, so that she didn't drink coffee. But then I got her weight loss goal, and I recommended, I call it a product quad pack, and Joel's going to put that in the comments. I don't have it copied in my text replacement, or I would do it. But so I sent her that product quad message, just recommending 4 different products. Don't be afraid. Go big first. Like I'll never forget this when I was talking with Stephanie once, because she said, a lot of people spend the most of their time messaging people about becoming a product tester. But if they say like, no, thanks, I'm not interested, you can't ask them to be a distributor. It's weird. You know, hey, you're not interested in trying these products. Do you want to sell them? So I always just message for distributor first, go big or go home, right? And so I'm kind of the same way when I recommend products. I know that if I recommend several to them first, and then talk pricing, if it's not in their budget, then I'll maybe consider like lowering that price, or most likely I just ask them when they get paid. So that was kind of the case with this last customer that I signed. She was from this host to post, told her the price, and she ghosted me. After I told her the price of all of the products, she didn't respond. So a week goes by, I followed up with her, nothing. And I even use like one of my favorite lines to do, especially towards month end, is I'm helping a girl on my team push for a promotion that's life-changing. Is there any way by chance, if it doesn't matter to you, could we put your order in? This would help out so much, something kind of like that. And she still didn't even respond until, so we originally started talking in October. She didn't respond back saying, hey, I'm still interested, until the middle of December. And at that point I was like, okay, are you still wanting to lose the same amount of weight? Like, where's your goals? And she still wanted to lose the same. So I asked her if she still had the information that I sent her, which she did. And so then she's like, how much is this going to cost me? So I gave her the same pricing script again, but then I added it up and said, so the grand total would be 139 or whatever it was. And then she's like, that sounds great. I get paid on the 1st. But then here's the cool thing. Even though I had her on my follow-up list, I was still making sure to interact with her and things like that. So she actually ended up messaging me from my story about the opportunity, even though she's a potential customer from a host to post. And so I gave her the information about the business, and she was super interested in that. But she's like, you know, I really feel like I need to try the products first, which I still need customers too. So I was like, that sounds great. So then we ended up signing her up as a customer. But that's kind of how that went. And I got that from a host to post. She turned into a potential distributor because I was consistent posting in my stories about the business. And then my last distributor, this is kind of cool too. She originally reached out to me in September of 2018, interested in weight loss from my story. So once again, from story, both of them were actually from Instagram, but I do sign 50-50 Facebook and Instagram. And so talked to her about the triple threat back then. That was what I always sold people, which was the Thermophyte, the greens, and the fat fighters. She never ended up signing up for that. She ended up posting a post for me a couple times through the next year. And when I started posting about Thermophyte X, she signed up as a customer that January. And so she ordered probably until July. And I just started, after she stopped her auto shipment, I started adding that little plug to make sure that she knew I thought she'd be good at the business, and she's in Canada, which is awesome. And so I sent her a quick little video, not a voice message or a text. Like I sent her a video like, hey, I think you'd be so good at this business. Is there have you ever thought about it, or can I send you some info? Just something super simple like that. And she ended up ghosting me and not answering, which is fine, because the month later she was still watching my story because we were still interacting. And then I was able to walk her through my little script. And so this is the script. I'm going to put it in the comments really quickly. And this is, I'll kind of edit it. I don't know if you can see me as I'm putting in the comments, but I can't edit it right now, but this is the first little part. I'm so excited to share this opportunity with you. Just erase this next sentence, because that's my story, where it says I've been earning a full-time income from my phone for the last 5 years and retired my husband with us. Just erase that and you can use it. And then I wait for them to respond, and then I send this one. And then if they say, yes, that makes sense, then I talk to them with pricing. So I think the most important thing, and especially as kind of what Joel said with scripts, is scripts don't work unless you write them. That's kind of what I have found. And so the reason why these work for me is because I took the time to make them my personality and write them myself. So take these scripts and switch up the wording, make it sound like you wrote it. And when in doubt, if it ends up being longer, all you need to do is ask yourself, okay, how can I turn these 2 sentences into 1? How can I turn this paragraph into a sentence? Because the more simplified you can be with your scripts, the better it's going to be. And then, of course, my favorite thing, because this doesn't give them all the information at that point, is asking them, what questions do you have for me? And then I just kind of go from there. But for me, I think the biggest thing is really making sure that you address and ask them those questions, and then use the feel, felt, found. No matter what it is, always address their feelings. I know exactly how you feel. I felt the same way, and what I found is this. And that's where you're not as scripted, because you can't have a script for every single objection that they have, but you have the basis and the guidelines, and then you can add your personality into it.
I love that.
Is that all you want me to say, Steph?
Yeah, I'll come back on and just do a couple other things. But you guys, when Jocelyn's talking about, scripts, taking some of these, creating your own, go into your team page and go, hey guys, how does this sound? Even newbies do that, because we're going to hear it. We're going to help you try to edit and make it, the best that we can. So don't be afraid to do that and ask for help. Like, that's the one thing this year I want people to be loud about it. Like, hey, I really want this. How does this sound? And then, because what would happen is, I've seen people message me and go and coach them and go, I can't tell what they're trying to ask me to do. This is how I would do it. So I think we can all learn from that. And I love that we're all different. Now, guys, this is just social. This is just a couple things. And a lot of us talked about stories, didn't we? Like, all 3 of us were talking about stories. And so if you're like, oh my gosh, I don't even have Instagram, where do I even begin? We all, at least for me, I'll speak for myself, I was scared to do Instagram. I'm still like, man, there's so many tools on that I just don't know. But the more that you do it, the more that you play around with it, the quicker that you're going to get ahead with these things. And so make sure that you're doing that, making sure that you're looking at some of the leaders' posts and just copying, looking at it and going, I want to do this. I want to create that one for me. So make sure that you guys really jump in and look at the stories. Some of the things that I use is the Over app. And then what's the other one? I don't even know. Unfold, because Unfold's just simple and basic and easy. You can just put a picture on there and put some type. So if there's some good wording that I even see on Facebook, I copy it, put it into that app on Unfold with the picture, and I'll reword some of it to mine. So hopefully that kind of gives you guys an idea of how I learned too, and how I started stories. Did you have something?
Nope,
okay.
I just typed it in there for everybody.
Okay, so I'm like, Joel's right here, but Jocelyn, I just did want to pull you on a little bit more, because we talked a little bit today. So this is something that I've done, and I try to do with leaders as they want, is coaching calls. We don't always do that. And she was one that asked for a coaching call, so I did that with her. But Was there a question when you asked me, is she still on here? I can't see her.
Yep.
I'm still on.
Okay. That you asked and you're like, oh, I would like people to hear that. Like there's a couple of things that I saw that you're like, oh, that like simplified for you.
Okay, so I know one of them is an example because I have incredible girls on my team, but some of them I feel like they set goals so high that they're above the goals that I set for myself this year. And so I wonder, like, because I know they can totally do it. It's going to take more than a year. But how do you help people see that to set realistic goals for what they can actually accomplish?
So that was a question that she asked me. And I think that that's true. We sometimes get into this and they say, I want $10,000, right? And they're brand new. And I'm like, well, I didn't even think that when Joel might have, but I didn't. I was just like $1,000. So we have to go back to that analogy of how do you eat an elephant one bite at a time? I want you to think about that big, crazy number. I don't want you to not. I want you to think of that because I remember writing down $10,000 was a huge, crazy number to me. $1,000 was a huge, crazy number to me. So as I upped it to 2.7 million in a year, that's a huge, crazy number. And I think I thought about that for years before it actually happened. And the way that we do it is one bite at a time. So how do we get to $10,000? Well, let's get to 1,000 first. We're going to have that 10,000 there, but let's get you to $1,000, or even let's start with $300 or $500. And how do we do that? And you guys know there's an easy system to do that is we can help somebody make $300 to $500 by teaching the steps to success, which is 3 distributors, 4 loyal customers. How quickly do you want that is the next question. And so if we focus on that, just like Jocelyn did, you guys heard her say, she made 500. Well, if I do that again next month and double that, she's going to keep continuing to double because she has a team behind her working on those goals. So making sure that you guys know, put out that ridiculous number, work your way backwards, one bite at a time. Same thing with the month. If you want $500 this month, how are you going to do that? And it's stories, it's asking, it's the 6 list that Jocelyn said, it's getting out and creating more of that hundreds list. And so I try to keep it small because there's some people need to just know we have to start there because there's no different making $100,000 and 1,000 other than I've consistently done the work and taught people to do the work. I didn't happen overnight. Like I wish it would. I think people think that, but you know, as Amanda or Jocelyn are on here and you're hearing leaders, you're like, wow, they're so lucky. How did they do that? They put in the work, they put in the time, and they helped other people do it. And that's what we have with the system, with the steps to success. So don't forget about that simple system that we have and how quickly can you get through it. And then how many can you do per month? And social media is a good thing. It can also mess with your mind. Don't worry about the likes. Don't worry about the comments. You be consistent because people are watching you, but they may not be commenting on things, but it may take a month. It may take a host of posts. It may take 2 years. We don't know, but you've got to do those things if you want the income, ridiculous income that you want. And so I think that just, you know, breaking it down that simple. Did you have anything? I still do that. $1,000 a month.
It comes down to persistency, and consistency is what creates success. You know, unsuccessful people are good at doing something good every once in a while. The ultra successful and high performers are good at doing things good consistently. Over time, it compounds and creates extraordinary success. If you're only going to do it hit or miss, you're going to get frustrated, and what causes most people to quit. Mm-hmm. The point that you have to make today is, are you going to decide to be consistent? And if you have to schedule things into your phone with reminders to keep you consistent, I remember when Jocelyn was just on her run up to Ambassador, being out at lunch with her, and her phone was going off like every 30 minutes. That would remind her, okay, every 30 seconds to remind her to do something. But guys,
she did it.
Million in 4.5 years. That's what it took to get there. Are you willing to be consistent enough to get to $1 million in the next 4 years?
And again, it seems so simple, and I don't want to take anything away. It's for those that decide to put the work in. There's no other way around this, guys. You have to put in the work. You can't just think, oh, I'm going to come in and it's going to happen. It doesn't happen for me. It doesn't just fall out of the sky. I really think that God does that to me just so I'm here to teach you guys. I'm still in the field. I'm still out talking to people. I'm still learning Instagram, but that's what worked last week. And so I want you guys to know it worked for me, because what my hope is that it works for you, because there's so many people's lives that we haven't touched. And so that's something that I'm going to do a little bit better on each week is, hey, this is what seemed to work for me this week, or I had to tweak this. This is what I'm adding to. I don't want to take away, but I would definitely want to add to create even more. So hopefully that gave you guys a little bit more just excitement. Like, people are wanting it. It's the ones that are asking, the ones that are getting out there and being consistent with their stories and bringing in new people into their list, I guess, if that's what you want to say. Amanda, did you have any last minute like ahas, or like something you're like, this needs to be said, this is how you are a top DT enroller, like share? Oh, unmute. Okay.
I loved all of Jocelyn's tips. I thought it was so amazing. But I think my biggest thing is that, you know, we all want goals. So whatever your goal is, like, that is something that you have to prepare for. And, you know, like, we can say all day long, we want to get to diamond or double diamond, or you want to make $10,000 extra a month, but you have to prepare yourself for it. And the way you do that is by putting the work into it, by, you know, creating those habits and being consistent and disciplined and, you know, doing the work that we do, those, you know, those 6 things that Jocelyn was saying, like, that never changes. And that's the easiest work ever. You know, posting, reaching out to people, like, that's the easiest thing. It's just doing them every single day, even when you're not wanting to do them, you know. And I was reading a book and it says that, you know, you want to take the emotion out of, you know, doing this work. We want to take, you know, oh, I'm really excited, so I'm going to like get out tons of posts to post, and then the next day we're super tired, we don't want to do anything, so we don't do anything. You want to take that out and work off of discipline, work off of being intentional, and, you know, work when you don't want to work. And that is truly how we have all made it to where we are so far, is because we work when we don't want to work. Like, I was sick for 2 weeks, and in bed I was still on my phone sending out messages, you know. And so it's, you work when you don't want to work. You're disciplined and you're creating those habits every single day and doing them. And that is preparing yourself. So when you're asking, like, Lord, please, I want to make $2,000 extra a month. Well, are you preparing yourself to do that? Are you working to do that? Are you learning how to lead a team of a diamond leader team? Are you, you know, preparing, you know, to bring on customers, preparing, you know, to send out messages so you get customers and get distributors? You know, are you preparing yourself for that promotion, for that amount of money to come in? And that's what, you know, our biggest thing is this year on our team is preparing ourselves, preparation and discipline, because that's really what it takes, is, you know, that daily action.
Oh my gosh, so good. I mean, we're getting close to 9. We don't want to miss Pam's call, but I just love you girls for jumping on. It was kind of a last minute to pull you on, and I appreciate that. And I know everybody, I can just see all the comments that, you know, it's exciting, but again, don't forget to be disciplined to do this, and don't be like, I wish I would have. Like, that's the worst feeling, is, oh, I wish I would have done that and not. So I love that we get on here every Monday night. There's no excuses. I'm tired, you guys. I had a treatment today, so they knocked me out. And so I'm tired, but I know that people need to hear these great stories of this is what's working now. So I love you. We're going to see you again next week with an awesome topic. I will share that probably a little bit earlier. And if there is topics that you guys really want, don't be afraid to reach out to me or some other leaders to know that what we want to give you what you want. And so, you know, these are some of the things that we're really working hard on this year to give you as much, because we're going to be prepared for.
Yep. And guys, remember that you can always catch the replays of this, and we try and take all of the stuff that were put into the chat for you guys. We try and put those in the body. So make sure you're going to joelandstephaniedunn.tv. That's the YouTube channel that we post everything on. That way you miss some, you can go back and catch up. You missed the notes, you can go back on and grab the notes, but we should hopefully have all of that up within 24 hours of doing these.
Yeah, so we love you. Go jump on Pam's call. That's going to be, I think, some ahas and tips from some of the top earners from Costa Rica. We'll see you guys again next Monday. But thanks again, Amanda and Jocelyn. Have an awesome week, and hopefully you guys are going to conference. If not, there's still time to get your ticket. Find a way, because it's going to be mind-blowing. It's going to be more than we've ever thought. So have a great week, guys.
See you guys
soon. Oh, wait, picture. Hold on. So ADD. All right, if you're still on, smile. I almost missed it. That would have been awesome. Okay, I got some. All right. Oh, and I got Taylin. Bye. All right, guys. Have a good night.